The feud between Aguleri and Umuleri was never just about land. It was about blood, old grudges, and shadows that would not die. Both towns claimed to descend from the same ancestor, Eri, yet each swore the other was an impostor, a thief of heritage. The cursed ground called Otuocha became their battlefield, a stretch of land soaked with secrets, greed, and the ancestral wrath. In 1933, Umuleri dragged Aguleri to court, hissing that they had been robbed of Otuocha. But the case was dismissed, the judges declaring the land had been sold long ago to the Royal Niger Company. In 1935, Aguleri struck back with their own street, but they too were denied. That was the first wound, the first shadow laid on the soil. In 1964, the feud bled again when Umuleri demanded that Otuocha Aguleri be stripped of the Aguleri name. To outsiders, it was a harmless dispute about letters, but to those who lived there, it was a tearing of identity, a stab at pride. And when the government bowed and changed the Gazette, violence erupted. Blood spilled on dusty roads, curses flew, and for years, the wound festered. But it was in 1995 that the wound opened into a river of death. On September 30, Umuleri youths, thrilled by whispers that Aguleri was building a market and motor park on disputed land, stormed Aguleri with cutlasses, axes, and fire. For 10 days, until October 10, the village is burned. By the end, nearly 200 Umuleri and 60 Aguleri lay dead, hacked, butchered, roasted inside their own homes. The Otuocha post office, the community bank, the town hall, even churches all turned to ash, as if God himself had abandoned the land. Rumors spread that the Virgin statue in Our Lady of Victory Cathedral was defiled, shattered in the chaos, and many swore that from that night the town became cursed, haunted by shadows and crying voices. Peace was a lie. In 1999, the feud returned, darker than before. A local government chairman from Aguleri had died, and dark whispers said his burial demanded 7 human heads. Youths marched with bloodlust. Umuleri struck first. Aguleri retaliated. And for 3 moons, death ruled Otuocha. Over 350 lives were extinguished, many cut down in the fields, others trapped in burning homes, their screams echoing in the river night. The stench of rotting corpses carried for miles. Dogs and vultures feasted on the unburied dead. Mothers wailed until they lost their voices. Even President Obasanjo had to descend, calling priests, soldiers, elders to broker a fragile peace. They divided Otuocha like butchered meat, but the land would not heal. Even after the peace accord, blood returned. In 2017, 18 houses burned again, flames licking the sky, and in 2021, 2 men were cut down, their blood soaking the disputed boundary. To this day, elders mutter that the land of Otuocha drinks too much blood to ever know peace. Greedy politicians and loud barons still sell plots in secret, laughing while the poor fight and die for soil that will never belong to them. And at night, people say the earth whispers, voices of the dead rising with the harmattan winds, calling out the names of Aguleri and Umuleri children, demanding that the bloodline never forgets the curse their fathers sowed. The war is not finished. It only sleeps. And the soil of Otuocha waits for the next scream to break the silence. If you like us to bring you more shocking true life stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell to be notified anytime, any day we drop our stories. What do you think is the best way to resolve this conflict to avoid the next generation coming to suffer for something they know nothing about at all? Drop your answers in the comment section. I will read all of them. Bye. See you next time.